to take down the results of all the things that happen. We don't have that kind of time. We're busy. We have
I know you do. I know you do, so that's what I do. I give you that kind of love that makes you come back. I'm your pusher, baby. I'm your pusher.
Hey, little black boy, let me holler at you for a minute. I was once in your place. You should respect what I say. Some of the things I'm about to tell you just may save your life in a world where not much is right. Little black boy, you're gonna see and experience all sorts of things, but don't let your mind be locked in a chain. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Spitfire Poetry Shutdown. I am your host, John Hansboro. It is April 13th, 2022. I hope everyone is having a wonderful evening thus far. Man, so much going on right now. Happy to be here tonight. The Spitfire Poetry Shutdown is brought to you by Butterfly Entertainment. What Up Baltimore Online Radio is the platform, is the network. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anywhere you can get us. We're there. YouTube. Go to ladyjmedia@gmail.com to get the links for all of the different shows that we have on the network, right? So before I even get started, I got a friend of mine that I've met a few years ago that I'll be coming on shortly. But I wanted to share some information really fast because there's a lot going on, and this is Poetry Month. All right, so tomorrow Vibes and Verses, Shamice Lady Jacobs Vibes and Verses tomorrow, April 14th. Shamice Lady Jacobs. This is at the Roses Event Center. Y'all don't want to miss that. It's on Coolidge Avenue. If you've been there, you already know what it's about. It's going to be awesome. I believe the guest host is my girl Nesky Kimzet. Speaking of that, I had the pleasure of being in a what is this? A poetic theatrical play. I said it right the first time. This is called I Am Woke. This is written by Anna. This is written by Anna Kimzet. And this will be performed on June 20. Is it June 20? Wait a minute. I want to make sure I got this right. I know it's at the La Familia Arts and Media Center, 836 Guilford Avenue. I Am Woke. The doors open at 6 o'clock. This play is going to be off the chain, y'all. It's a bunch of awesome poets in it. Anna Kimzet wrote it, and it's like everybody's got poetry in it, and it's a really strong message throughout this play. I'm very happy to be a part of this. The 24th of this month, my sister Grace has a Poets for Dinner. Y'all don't want to miss that. The 24th is on Sunday. That's the matter of fact, that's our 10-year anniversary. It's a 10-year anniversary for Poets for Dinner. Go on there and check out her website. Follow her on Instagram, Facebook at Poets for Dinner or Grace Givens. But that's her 10-year anniversary. This is big, y'all. She been feeding the city with food and poetry and spoken word for 10 years. I'm sure over 10 years, but for 10 years. And I appreciate it. She does a wonderful job. I love her events. What else we got going on? Vibes and verses. I said that. Poets for Dinner. Spitfire Poetry Shutdown in person open mic is back. If you ever been to any of my events back in 2018 and 2019, where I did the open mics at Glory Days, it was a patio outside. It was absolutely wonderful in the summertime. We had a good time. But we back now. COVID is so light with is a little bit lighter with the restrictions. So I have a open mic that I'll be having with What Up Baltimore Online Radio. We're partnering up and doing this. I believe it's July 23rd. That's going to be at the downtown Baltimore Cultural Arts Center. But I'll give you more information on that as that goes along. Also, you can always get my books, The Unusual Favor, Spitfire Poetry Volume 1 and 2 on Amazon, or you can hit me up on my messenger or any other social websites and get my material. Unusual Favor 2 is finished. Shout out to Angela Edwards. I just sent it off to her. I'm still in my head about it. I really been taking my time with this because this one, Unusual Favor, was my baby, the first one. So I wanted the sequel, the one that's coming up after, to be just as good. So I've been in my head about that a lot, so I just had to let it go and just go ahead and release it. So I can't wait for that. Hopefully I can, well, no, it's not going to be out by my birthday, but sometime in May, maybe June. All right. Yeah, so I should have my guest should be coming on soon. Vern Hardy, aka Spoken King. There go my brother. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Man, I can't complain. Good to see you, man. How you been, man?
Oh man, just chilling, just chilling.
That's what's up. So I was telling the people, man, I met you about, God, I had to be like 2018, right?
Yeah.
Like that when I was doing my open mics at Glory Days, and you hit me up. I was like, man, I want to come through and bless the state, bless the mic. And we've been following each other ever since, man. You're a solid brother. I appreciate your support and all that you do, man. How you been, man? What's going on with you?
Oh, man, just cooling, man. Just chilling. Just chilling, man. You know what I mean? Glad this COVID thing is coming to an end.
Yeah, you and me both. There's a lot of stuff that people want to do, man. So I'm glad it's over too. It was too much, man, being stuck in the house. That shit starts to mess with you. A lot of people have been going through some stuff, you know. But I'm glad it's over too. I'm glad we on the other side of it and above ground, bro. I'll tell you that. That's a blessing right there.
I know, right? People say it's a hoax.
Yeah.
That was a crazy point in time, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So man, what you been doing lately, man? I know you always writing and you got so many projects you're doing. Talk to me about what you got going on. First of all, tell the people where you from and who you are. Let's do that first.
My name is Vern Hardy. It's called me Spokane V. I'm from I'm from Virginia. But I grew up in the Maryland area, right out in the county, in the suburbs of Baltimore. And there's not really much more to know about me, man. I like to write. I wrote a couple books. I wrote Spectrums of Life. I got one coming out called Haiku, God Bless You. And
that's new then, right? That's new. That last time I had you on, you ain't told me about that one. That's a new one then, ain't it?
Yeah, that's a new one.
Bless you. I like that. I like that title already. Yeah, Haiku, I bless you. I like that, yo.
Yeah, man. And yeah, so from Virginia, from the DMV area. Born in Virginia, Maryland, raised.
Mm-hmm.
And went to church at Baltimore, right in the city in Emerson Village. Grew up going to church out there, and so I guess I had the best of both worlds.
Gotcha.
I mean, lived out there, lived out here.
How long you been writing and reciting poetry, Vern?
On and off all my life, but I'll say in about the last maybe 4 or 5 years. I started back during COVID. I kind of like slowed down a lot. I didn't do it as much.
Yeah.
But then, because a lot of performance. Well, for me, a lot of performance and stuff stopped.
Right.
In the beginning. So, I say about the last 4 or 5 years.
without when COVID was going on, I couldn't perform either, but it seemed like I was writing a little bit more sometimes because that's how I like release, and that's my therapy, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I feel like I picked up that and my marijuana intake municipally. That went up that went up a little bit too. But
Oh man.
yeah, man. You know, I was just thinking though before I had you on, before we started, the last time I had you on, it was a year ago. That was a whole year ago. I was looking at some of my old videos last night, and that was a
Really?
year ago. Yeah, it's been a whole year that fast, man. That
Man,
fast.
time flies, don't it?
Absolutely, man. So talk to me about what you your latest your latest project and poem that you've written.
I wrote one called Trend Statistics, and it's gonna be filmed in a movie. I haven't done that yet. Right now I'm recording the EP. So Trend Statistics is gonna be like a poetical Broadway, like a bunch of different poems, maybe 6 or 7 different poems within a plot of like a story, within a storyline. I
Damn,
say
you
that a
wrote it?
lot. Oh, well, I wrote most of it. I outlined it, I'll say. I wrote most of the poems and I outlined what I'm gonna do, but I
Mm-hmm.
haven't went into filming it because I've been more into recording lately. Yeah,
Gotcha.
so I recorded a few songs which I can't play now, but and I just been like you, just a lot of writing, man. I've been to
Yeah,
a couple shows. I haven't did a whole lot of performances. I haven't really been on that. But I'm back in the groove of things now, should I say.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, man, we ain't even gonna hold the people up. Whenever you're ready, man, you can go ahead and start spinning some shit. We can get something going. People, guys, you can follow him on YouTube. He's definitely got a lot of videos and stuff on YouTube. Videos, songs. You definitely want to follow him. You got a positive message. Very powerful message, bro. Very. I've
Yeah,
always liked when you spit your shit. So
it's
that's
gonna be a lot of new stuff on Spokane V, Instagram at Spokane V. So right now I'm doing everything is at Spokane V, so it'll be the same thing like my email SpokaneV@gmail.com. SpokaneV.com, the domain at Spokane V. It will be on YouTube too. But okay, so trust statistics is when I say I'm in death at an early age and reluctantly denied my request. Was it that I wasn't worthy, overqualified for the Grammy access? See, no worries. Everyone has a day, every gun has a hole to spray.
mm,
And every story has multiple sides detailing the whole display of truthfulness and lies. Deceit and demise, a wolf in sheep's clothing disguise. Why judge a book by its cover? Look further inside and analyze the streets took over. The Grand Reaper was a fair, for many tomorrows no care. So why dwell in sorrow? And why bask in self-pity? As time passes, it never stops, the situation changes instantly. Even the most complicated task gets simplified by planning, strategizing the blueprint, incorporating the movement to withstand stressful pressures and escalate through drastic measures with relentless activity. The
mm.
persistence of habitual positive practice will implement you a solid foundation on which you progress. I just wish destruction could end. And if it did, construction began to another life cycles, resuscitation of a breathless prayer for change, to rearrange thoughts for hope so many dreams went up in flame. Now, realistically, the cope in this dog eat dog world is to fight, is the bite, is the struggle we fight, the muzzle just bite. Doing wrong to make things right, aspiring to overcome and move higher than where we're from and defy statistics. Now, we supply materialistic things to chicks just to appease their wishes. Now, fair weather's breeze will bring attention, arouse suspicions. Now, the fair said I supplied them trenches. See, his dreams were nightmares, indention, a phone call acquiring intentions. When in agreement, it ended. Now, the docket has various charges, no witness. Later found that he was fatally shot in a homicide, unless shortly after I was apprehended. And this chain of events dramatized that has me traumatized. Collect calls cutting off here, my mama cry. So I wasn't necessarily culture like to the I wasn't necessarily drafted, but I enlisted. Drafted, I played with it, dug my hole and I laid in it to fully uphold the code that came with it.
Mm.
The honor has no shame, and your honor I have no name, so the need to retire the chamber, just give me my sentence. Then it goes back. I met death at an early age, and this refusal was ridiculous. Now I know why I'm finna max out in prison. With God's forgiveness, this too shall pass. That's called trust statistics. Oh man, I hate bombing them, but you asked me to start with that one. That was one. That's my newest one that I really
Man,
have
you
for a
know,
storyline for a movie.
your style is difficult, man. I don't know how you able to keep up like your wordplay is serious. I love your pen, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Like I,
Yeah, that's like a storyline. You know, it's gonna be more spiritual. It's gonna be more just about it's three different characters. It's what they're going through in life, and it'll be three different facets of life. It'll be somebody like going to college. It'll be like three friends or three associates, and what happens. So yeah, and that one is trend statistics.
trust statistics. I like that. So what inspired that? That was just an idea that you came up with that you wanted to do.
Well, it's kind of weird, man. The movie did it in a way, and in a way, it's not really. It's something that happened. You know, it's stuff that happened. So it's a depiction of something that happened in a way. You know, the person hasn't sat in jail all their life, but it's a depiction of what happened, and you know, the things that go on.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
it's real life like that. It'll be more. You'll understand more if you know once the thing is all done.
So what's the you got one that I love, man. You in a cemetery, I believe in the video.
Oh man, yeah, that's an old one. I like that one. You know, I really don't have that one ahead. I really do like that one. You know, that guy passed away. That was how I kind of like linked on and met you guys. When you was doing Glory Days, he was the one who gave it, and we shot that video, and it was you know, the whole background was it was like a cemetery type thing. What was it called?
Wow, that's terrible, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I got one called No Love, and
Yeah,
in No
whatever else you
Love,
got, man. I know the people want to hear you spit. So whatever you feel ready, whatever you got, you go right ahead, bro.
No Love, I'm
No,
gonna chop in half. It's a prayer at the end, and it says there want no love. They say want no love in these cities. And there want no trust, at least not enough. Can you feel me? See, now I can perceive this all clearly. Bunch of youngers with drums and sticks. And they were drilling shit quickly. And all we knew was to come from nothing and replenish it quickly. But Heavenly Father, forgive me. But even if you do, these niggas gonna kill me. Because these streets, they hate me. They talking filthy, but with lid, they gonna feel me. See, but if they do, some of the guys coming with me. And that's what got me feeling so guilty. See, I maneuver so swiftly. Into a Jewish state, I want to move, get a Bentley. But on the other side of things, I'm being watched evidently. And the penitentiary slipped out of my thoughts. So it's here, Lord, that I come to you because I'm spiritually lost. My flesh is weak and this could be a spiritless corpse. I must confess my sins and repent sincerely. Just in the air and it awaits me clearly. I know there's no way that I can escape what's written. See, I've been sinning, but now I'm making decisions to change my life. And I always heard Jesus will come like a thief in the night. And you know how thieves remove things from sight. So I'm asking you, please grant forgiveness. Because I've been living this way for so long that I can make the transition. I know it takes faith, but still with your wisdom. See, the streets have no love, but God's love for his children was unconditionally. And you know what never made sense to me? How tragic events formally instantly, and we need spiritual growth. And since time is of the essence of what matters the most, so show love rather than keeping enemies close. For when the smoke clears, will it be your hopes to run up in flames? And will your losses be someone else's gains? I just try to maintain in a society that is material driven. It's just a car you drive or the house that you live in. It means more than salvation. So this reflects times of revelation, when the adversary puts his mark on his nation. I'll sit alone in darkness and contemplation, with my mask on, rebuking evil spirits from Satan. And I had one that I wanted to do. They say there's no honor amongst thieves and ain't no love in the city. Well, realistically, half end up dead or in the penitentiary. Now, what I say that don't sit well with me. Heart sent to sin and imposed for unjust felony. See, money breeds jealousy. It's the root of all evil, but my mind keeps telling me to keep positive vibes. In crooked cops, they don't value our lives. And what I've realized is no solution. Because at the blink of an eye, is young and shooting. No care of the lives that matter. And 12 sit back and laughter. Another story unfolds another chapter. It's full of suspense and drama. The streets afflict many karma. The only thing continuous is the saga. The things that seem so strenuous was preventable. See, life ain't fair. But what if his equations was hypothetical? And we can bring back them years, like really where they go. I barely know my surroundings. I'm lost. Feel like I'm drunk in a fountain of tossed. It's like a swallow on purse that howls disperse. It hurts. Far from alert, my mind is flipping, is lifted. Far above earth as it seems. My sweetest dreams is awakening. To see my day ones, the Lord keeps taking them. Now, how does this work, meaning life? You see, if Lord shorty treasure the worth, then she wouldn't be naked at night searching, auctioning off her midsection as if it were dirt, priorities neglected of what comes first. As many inclined to gather themselves and take a different approach. He envisioned Hope transacting bundles of dope, and it worked but ran its course. See, now he's sitting in front of the task force, federally bound from what they literally found. It's the law of gravity. What goes up comes down. Realistically, it's just a game he played. The lane he stayed in was coasting. It was a roller coaster ride outside people was overdosing. See, we was taught success came with a risk. To get lost in blocks with bricks and give us more than we wished for. So what intrigued by the villains that whip raw, flip raw, but the whole time really ignoring the pitfalls. The realism of sacrifice. You paying the price to get ahead for golden nights we wasn't led to troubled waters we tread knee deep, yet troubled waters get steep when gambling in the streets where games is obsolete. Somehow managing to conquer these statistics where gangs and cops compete. And then to go into another one I had called gun violence. And gun violence is that's more for the thing too. That's more for a script too. That's more for the script that I want to actually do with trust statistics. It's going to be gun violence and the youth. And I had one I wanted to read, but the way we streaming, I don't look like I'm going to be able to do that because I would have to leave, and that's.
You got what's the one you just said, the gun violence? You know that one? You got that one?
Yeah, but that goes that. It's three different ways that one could go. That's what I'm saying. It's three different ways gun violence can go. Three different ways to do that poem, and I don't really want to mess it up.
Gotcha.
You know the gun violence, because that's an old one. I probably did it on your last show. Probably.
You might have. So what started you in with writing? Like, was it poetry and hip hop that attracted you, or was it just writing in general? You know, for something to do for therapy and things of that nature.
Well, it was funny, man. I started out reading poetry as a kid and then writing raps. So then when I started writing poetry and spoken word again, I was just mainly doing it for the fun of it, just to be in a show, do poetry. And then I met a guy, he said, hey, man, let's put some of these over music. So I got different ones. I got ones like the prayer one, but no love, but it's a whole lot more to that. And then in the end, I would say a prayer. I actually put that up, and I didn't do that. It's on Spotify, Malachi Spoken Words. And I just recently got with, the Poet Life at the Poet Life. The Poetry Party, Baltimore, and Overland. And they do a lot of things at Busboys and Poets. And what's that in D.C.? Pure Poetry Live or something? So I just really got with the Poet Life out of D.C. And that's how I went to Spokane V. I made it and, created my domain and did all of that. So it's just weird, man. I did it when I started doing it again. It was only do a couple shows, and then a guy said, "Hey, well, he wanted to put something over music." And I think the first one we put over music, it was like poetry with a message. It was more like positive inspiration. And the first one we did was something called "Heartless," and it was we actually put it over music. I thought it was all right. And how did that go? I was staring in the mirror and telling myself, I got to do better. You got to do better. You got to endeavor to make things right. You see, instead of overthinking, I had to take things light. I struggled to find solutions, but only came up with excuses. I need to go somewhere all inclusive, like where the weather's clear, the atmosphere seems all the more pleasant. So the next flight out of Baltimore, catch it. See, I kept coming up short in several aspects with no godly presence to get things accomplished. See, imagine being an accomplice to a crime that wasn't committed. In a trial, you wasn't acquitted. You viewed in life as another statistic, alone at night, praying for forgiveness. But the time you paying is for what? Indictment sticking. Mishaps in life became so trifling and sickening. Instead, he became enticed to religion. You see, the prayers for the righteous is with him. God is rightfully with him, guiding him spiritually, precise with his wisdom. See, numerous lives faced with desperation, pretending the situation through living where limited options was given. Retracing thoughts so vivid it piercing my soul. Then it all becomes so clear. Numb hearts yet to the surface appeared, love had a presence. It was undetected entering schools through metal detectors. But when detectives had to ask you questions, you live by the sword, you learn a lesson. See, at times it's fatal. Other times we get relayed through a system confined to corrections. Heart-centered sin with no compassion. There lies a fraction of hope. I viewed this life through a scope and was asking for actually a new beginning, a new dimension. And there's a strategy implemented to instill wisdom. That's instrumental in this game of life. See, the streets has overtaken too many, they feel forsaken. It's like life is passing them by and they just sitting there waiting. A lot of things are deliberation. A day of judgment shall come, as well as image from the place where they're from. See, it's the same repetitive process, cycling young as the progress through night, flipping packages in the broad daylight. They can't think straight. They can't sleep right. Who can equate these years for crimes non-violent, someone influenced by race? They see the motor skin deep, yet these soldiers that keep loading the streets with dope and guns, and you know it'll reach the youth. But the truth, the absence of father figures to some of the savages who ravage the street as cold-hearted killers. But logically, the target for those opposed, carrying poles in darkness, is the episodes of the heartless. And I wrote that more like positive motivation about the youth. And I had another spiritual one.
Is that what you like to write, the most spiritual stuff? Is that where you like, where you dive into and feel like you flow the most with spiritual stuff like that?
I'll tell you, man, you got anything you do, you gotta acknowledge God. But I
Yeah.
do have a few things and a
Right.
lot of them I don't record. I don't really get into that, but I do have a few songs that I am gonna let loose. But it's not talking about murdering people and all of that, but it is depicting a little bit of street life, still a little bit of I had
Maybe.
muted. A lot of the positivity seems to be the
Yeah.
best thing.
Yeah. Definitely.
I had a spiritual one, and I said, my perception of thought was shallow. I couldn't fathom what God could do. So to faithfully follow through life trials and obstacles, it seemed impossible. See, what I mean is when you lost that light that's shining through, it'll carry you to the cross. And from there, he'll enter your heart. He'll cleanse your soul. We all was born into sin, but through him we made whole. We all was born into sin, exposed to evil, walking through darkness you cannot see through. Various demons precede you. The death toll of the penitentiary, the odds are stacked continuously. The cycle repeats that means historical tracks of dissension. The Lord's grace provides us with redemption, deliverance in the time of need, relief from tension. Who can I run to? Who can I trust? See, I come unto you, Heavenly Father, as a work in progress. Just know it's a process. Was isolated in zones far from desolate, no love was present. It's causing children to advance through adolescence, lacking in spiritual guidance, exposed to uncontrolled violence, receiving currency in exchange for narcotics. It's most definitely a disastrous recipe. I pray to God that he sets them free, not just physically, but mentally. The spiritual meaning of the hand is to make the vision you see and expand. It's to take his wisdom, plant seeds to the land. The harvest you reap results from the thoughts that you keep. See, God's plan must be fulfilled. To the lost souls astray, God's plan will be revealed. Just give him your hand, give him your soul, and he will cleanse all that's within until that day of promise when he's calling you in. And that was when I had a spiritual one. Man, I tell you, I recorded one pretty soon. I'm gonna have that uploaded to IG. A lot of the newer stuff, I says maybe 7 or 8 of them. It'll be up soon. Next week being mental health month, I have one that I just recorded for a doctor that I grew up with. She's a doctor in the army, and I did a mental health piece. And I've been waiting, I sent it away to get it copyrighted and all that. I think that's pretty good. And I recorded one today called Lord Hear Me Out, and I put it over music. And I tell you, that one I really like. I did a couple love songs too.
You write stuff for children too? Did you said something about kids? Are you writing anything for children too?
Well, a lot of the spiritual ones and a lot of the positive ones are for children. I had a suicide one, and that's the same way, man. I don't remember that one, and the new mental health, but a lot of spiritual ones are for kids. Let's say Heartless was, I had love songs. I have a couple love poems. I got one where I say, well, I'm gonna start at a certain point. They say patience is virtue, so I kept patiently waiting. See, I know niggas hurt you. Let's take this vacation, discuss this whole situation. It's becoming hurtful. It's not about degradation. It's about upliftment. It's not about false temptation. So stop the resistance. See, unlike others that's insignificant, I'm the most let me close to play my position. See, I'm the proper portrayal and depiction of persistence. I'm the author of spiritual existence. I'm the doctor that remisses conditions, heartaches, and lonely nights. See, I transcribe his prescriptions. Yeah, them niggas hurt you, but this is what's missing. They say patience is virtue. This is what's missing. They said I didn't deserve you. They see I practice forgiveness. See, basically, I'm living life with no vengeance. I took that knife from my back and cleaned it out because I know hateful intentions correlate with no wisdom. Animosity traits come within them. See, I bestow vibrations of energy. The universe put those niches into me. Let me sprinkle you. I sink into abyss just when I think of you. Let me put diamonds on your wrist. Just let me sprinkle you. Raise the infrastructure and then discover how, where, and when to touch you. See, matter of fact, see, if patience was virtue and your time kept ticking, I'll be enlisting on my emotions with no mutual intentions. But what's the difference when you live for the moment and everything you want, you get it, and if not, you disown it? I want to crawl into your tunnel and snatch your soul. I want to mate with your mental. Let's make this simple. Make love of a Motown instrumental. They say patience is virtue. This is what's missing. So that's one that I had, and that sounds a whole lot better over a B2.
So what do you have any books or anything out right now?
Just one called Spectrums of Life. That haiku, God bless you, that's not out yet. And you know, haiku is only 575 syllables, so that's more like motivational quotes and you know, inspirations, but in haiku. You know, that's
but the book that you have published now is called what again?
Spectrums of Life.
And what's that about? That's a series of poems in it.
Yeah, it's a series of poems, and just every chapter is a color, and it's just different facets, or you know, like spectrums of life. That's an old one. That's an old one. I really should have did a new one. I was going to do one when the pandemic came about. It was like the pandemic never ended, so I never actually put that one out. You know, right. What I mean, I didn't even because it was a lot about the pandemic. I'll tell you, I wrote a lot of them, and I just recently started looking back at them. A lot of the stuff I wrote over the pandemic, kind of like you said, like you wrote a lot, but I stopped paying attention to that stuff at a certain point.
Yeah.
You know, I started doing something different. I started working another job and doing other stuff, and I kept writing. So then the other stuff is more like, I'll say post-pandemic, because, you know, it's not like we're really that much in it no more. And by me doing that, I kind of like, you know, I put that stuff, I say, on the shelf a little bit. So a lot of that stuff is good. A lot of songs I recorded the same way. A lot of things I recorded during it, I just stopped. I stopped looking back at them. It's weird, man.
You just do it and move on, huh? Hey.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff I got to look back and see which ones I really like and which ones I would want to put out. That was just a messed up point in time. So, you know, a lot of the writing was about that.
Right.
And, you know, do things transpire.
Have you done any features, or do you got any features coming up anywhere? Any open mics as you go to?
Yeah, man, it's funny. Like on Wednesdays, I said Us Boys and Poets in Columbia. They got one in the city too. I haven't been there yet. So that's one Wednesday night, the poetry party in Baltimore. And it's weird because I've been on live with them, but I still haven't been to that one. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm not sure about DC Pure Poetry. That's kind of far. So I think they do that Thursday, like at this time too, but you got to be there so early. It's like you're putting yourself right there in rush hour. So I'd actually try to leave like 1 or 2. No, not that early. Maybe about 2:33, just to get down there by that. You know, that's 6:30 thing, the 6:30 mark. But yeah, I said
I got to get out to that one in Columbia. I haven't been to the Busboys in Columbia yet. I heard that's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I think when I went, it was ran by E-Baby and Orville the poet. That same guy who does Pure Poetry Live. You know, they have someone from Baltimore, the Truth the Poet. I think she has a show coming up there pretty soon too.
Yeah, she do got a feature coming up. She is fire too, bro. She is absolutely fire. I met her through a brother of mine. Shout out to my guy Desmond Guy. But yeah, she's fire, man. She's fire. Bro, it was a pleasure to have you on here, man. I mean, tell the people how they can follow you and, you know, what to look forward to from you in the future.
Oh man, within the next month, it's gonna be a lot of music, and I didn't say those purposely, just so when that comes out, they can hear it. And but at Spokane V on Instagram, that'll be the best way. I'm gonna build back up my YouTube. I'm gonna change it all up and build that back up right now because my Instagram actually got hacked. So I had all
Really?
my videos and all. Yeah, I got hacked by the Bitcoin people. It was kind of weird how it happened. So, I built it all up. And so that's another thing that it didn't really slow me down, but I was like, look, it just feels weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You guys
yeah,
are
yeah.
doing your thing and you see somebody on there selling Bitcoin and you can't. So it took a while before I started finding more people that got hacked. And, a couple people real close to me, theirs got hacked. Like a producer I know out of DC that made a lot of beats for me, his got hacked. It's kind of weird how that happened, though, man. But Expo King V on IG and my Facebook page was hacked, so that's my regular one's not, but that has nothing to do with poetry. And pretty soon I built up Instagram. But as soon as I put this music out, it'll be on there. And I got a couple songs that I'm gonna try to push on the radio, and they'll be different. It won't be like old school hip hop, but it'll be more like the native tongue sound, more relaxed. You know what I mean? It's kind of
Yeah.
weird. And I wanted to play one for you, but I can't play it out of this truck right here. I wanted to play one for you just so you can get a feeling of what I'm saying. And I got a lot of different stuff coming up, man. A lot of music. I'll be doing a lot of shows. So I'll be at the poetry party in Baltimore. I'll be at Bus Boys, both of them, Baltimore and Columbia. And I hope I can get to your event too. I got some nice new ones for your event that I gotta remember. And some of them will be for the youth. I got one called Hatred. And that's a real deep one. And that's more, it's not necessarily for the youth. Like I said, I have the mental, it's called Brain Love for Mental Health Awareness Month. I have and a couple love ones. So yeah. So we just hopefully I'm gonna make this a good summer, make a couple movies, shoot a couple videos, put out a lot of music. I probably got about an EP of about 8 songs I'm finna put out. And it'll be totally different from the poetry. But that's the weird thing, man. That's being older. What I do is not necessary. It's not the drill culture and the young guy type stuff, and it's kind of like in the middle. You know what I mean? It's still good music. It's still good music that the older people will like and the younger people will like too. So it's kind of weird because I always say it to my young guys just to see what they're gonna say. But they be like, "Oh man, those outdated bars." You know how they get. So I get their criticism, but at the same point in time, I gotta go and ask the older people how they like it too. So
Right.
I kind of like get that kind of mixture, that type of good vibe. But yeah, man. So I know you told me you was having one downtown, and I'm gonna try to have a couple. I don't have them playing yet. I've been talking to a guy. Oh, Ricky Shackle for shows. Yeah, I'll be on his broadcast in May. It'll be like a month from now. It'll be like a month from now in the Thursday. So this April 12th. It'll be like May 13th, May 14th, something like that. Him and Howard G, BWT Productions. And I'm trying to do his birthday. It depends. As long as I don't have to work, I'm going to do his birthday. But, it's just a summer filled, hopefully with some good poetry, some good vibes, and, networking with some good people. That's all we're doing.
Absolutely, man. Definitely, man. I'd love for you to be able to come through my event. It's going to be July 23rd at the Baltimore Downtown Cultural Arts Center. And it's going to be a lot of poets. You're talking 15 to 20 of us, really. You know what I mean? And we just going to go in, man. We just going to go in. So we're going to give the people a really good show. You know what I mean? Hopefully everybody can get at least 2 poems. If not, just come with your best shit and just balls out. We going hard, I'm telling you.
Okay. Yeah.
At my events, we go hard, man. And this is the first one since the pandemic. I haven't done any of them since the pandemic, but I was blessed to be able to bring it to the people virtually, thanks to What Up Baltimore. Shout out to Dr. Lady J. Jenkins. So, bro, I appreciate you coming on, man. I gotta stay in touch with you. We gotta link up. You gotta hit me up when you go to Columbia or something, because of course, I'm in Baltimore. So I can get out there. You know what I mean? I haven't been to that one. I'm interested to see that one. I went to one in Northwest DC last year. That was pretty nice. Me and my wife went there. She had a gig singing somewhere, and we stopped in there to aid. That was pretty good. I like what Bus Boys got going on with that. I really do. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's
The
cool.
one in Columbia is real nice too, man. Okay, so I gotta go on there because it should be like, if not this week, but next week. It might be this Friday. So I'm gonna try to go in there and find out which days is which shows. You know what I mean? Because they switch it up. It was
Yeah,
like I think on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then they
and they
start having
sell
some
out
on
fast
Saturday.
too. They definitely sell out
Oh
fast.
yeah, it's like as soon as they grab them. So
Right.
I'm gonna try to let you know the link, or I'll just grab a couple extra tickets, and if you tell me you want to come in and be one, your name will already be on the thing, it'll be like that. But yeah, I most definitely, man, most definitely. Hopefully, we can link up soon, and that July 23rd, that's 2 days after my birthday, so I'll be excited. I'll be
That's
trying to
what's
do
up.
that too, man. Is that on a Saturday?
I
That
believe,
that's
yeah, it is. It's a Saturday.
okay. Yeah.
Saturday
I
night.
know
Yep.
most of yours used to be on a Saturday. See, the pandemic slowed all that down too, because you was having them like the perfect days and everything. Remember, Glory Days was like in the middle of the day, I think, like 4:30 or something like that on a Saturday.
Yeah. I was 7 o'clock, 7 to 9.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was like
awesome. I
I
missed
remember it
those
was early.
days.
Yeah, I remember
I
it was
missed
real
those
early because I was like, man, he got the best shows, the best dates, the best times, and all that.
days.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here, man. I don't want to hold you up.
Man, I appreciate you, bro. I'm staying in touch with you, man. Be safe out here. And keep doing what you're doing, man.
Okay, bet, man. Appreciate
All
you.
right,
Peace out, bro.
all right.
Okay.
That was my guy, Vern Hardy, aka Spoking V. Y'all want to check him out. Um, like I said, it's a lot going on this summer. Um, follow just about everybody you can think of that does poetry in Baltimore, seriously, because there's a lot of events going on. This poetry thing and spoken word thing is a huge family of people. Everybody networks and shit like that. So July 23rd, Spitfire Poetry Shutdown, in-person open mic at the Baltimore Cultural Arts Center. All poets are free. Stay tuned, follow me for more for the ticket sales and all that. I'm gonna have bundles, of course, I'm sure. Shout out to Lady J. I'm doing this with What Up Baltimore Online Radio. Thank God for that wonderful platform. What else? I Am Woke. I Am Woke. The theatrical play I Am Woke. This is at a perfect time, y'all, because we rehearse just about every day, and it's really helping me to stay in my bag with poetry and be creative and shit. So y'all don't want to miss that. That's going to be June. It was a June 29th. I don't want to say the wrong date, but um, that's by Anna Kamzat and Victor CEO next week, April 20th. Now I got a show for your ass. Listen, Spitfire Poetry Shutdown next week. I got my man Victor CEO in the house. He's a poet, he's an author, he's a publisher, he's a hustler. Him and his lady, I love him, man. I just met them maybe, it's probably ain't even been a month, and I have the pleasure of being able to do a project that they have written that's absolutely powerful. You know what I mean? Y'all want to follow us and make sure that you stay up on that, because you don't want to miss that at all. It's going to be a really good play, bunch of poets in it. And like I said, tomorrow, Vibes and Verses, y'all check out Shamice Lady Jacobs. Go on Instagram, Facebook. She's on Instagram at SJ Speaks. Go on Facebook. She's Shamice Jacobs. I'm sorry. Her Vibes and Verses tomorrow night at Coolidge Avenue at the Sea Roses Event Center. That's just going to be dope. Y'all don't want to miss that. My sister Anna Kamzat is going to be hosting that, so that's going to be dope. Poets for Dinner, the 24th of this month. Shout out to Precious Grace Givens. Y'all don't want to miss that. It's her 10-year anniversary. She is feeding the city with free food and just been giving love and hugs, as she say, on everybody. She loves on everybody. I love her. That's my sister. She's an awesome person. Awesome person. So yeah, April 20th, I got Victor CEO on Spitfire Poetry Shutdown. And April 27th, that's 2 days after my birthday. April 27th, the Unusual Favor podcast will be back. And I got a special guest, y'all. This gentleman here has a story. His name is Terrence J. Pope, and he's an author. The name of his book is, I'm sorry, MOB to MOG. MOB to Man of God. Awesome. His story is amazing. I can't wait to get his book. Hopefully, I'll have it before I have him on the show on the 27th. but you don't want to miss that. That's going to be very good. He's an awesome brother, and he's got a wonderful story, man. He really does. It's very inspiring. So y'all want to stay tuned. I believe there's another show coming on. Shout out to Chad. I think his show is next, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all want to follow them too, man. That veteran show is really good. What else we got on here? Miss Joyce with the Joy B show. I don't want to miss nobody. I know I'm gonna miss some people. I just follow What Up Baltimore Online Radio every day after Tuesday. On Monday, there's shows, so you don't want to miss that. There's a lot of good stuff on there. You want to stay up on What Up Baltimore to see what we got, what we doing next, and where we at in the community, because Lady J is just about everywhere all the time. So you got to follow that butterfly, all right? Look, I thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget next week, like I said, 7 to 8 o'clock. Check me out. I got Victor CEO in the house. There's a plethora of information that we got. There's a play that's going on that him and his lady have written that they are a part of. Y'all don't want to miss it. So much good poetry and spoken word that we about to give to you. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this shit at all. You definitely don't. So I love y'all. I appreciate you guys for following me. If you want to stay blessed, you have to bless somebody else. All right. Be safe out here, everybody.
I know you do. I know you do, so that's what I do. I give you that kind of love that makes you come back. I'm your pusher, baby. You're a pusher.
Hey, little black boy, let me holler at you for a minute. I was once in your place. You should respect what I say. Some of the things I'm about to tell you just may save your life in the world right now. Much is right. Little black boy, you're gonna see and experience all sorts of things, but don't let your mind be locked in the chain.